Hi everybody and welcome back to Let's Play Dragon Age Origins. So, here we are. Whoa, I did not expect that to happen. Where am I heading? There, that's easy enough. Now the question is, should I sort my injuries out? I'm fairly sure from when I played this game before, there is a spell somewhere that heals injuries. Maybe I'm wrong. Because I probably want to head towards that sooner rather than later, I would think. Unless it's been patched out. I could swear there was. Oh well. I'm not going to get there in one go. I've not actually got a level up. But, oh. Well, I'll investigate that before too long. Let's go. Shall I use an injury kit? I think I should. Because hopefully by the time I get through all of those, I will have the spell.
Sound the retreat.
But what about the king? Should we not...
Do as I command.
Pull out! All of you, let's move!
Ah, your eyes finally open. Mother shall be pleased.
Okay. So that flanking attack was pretty terrible. It was basically running away. And then King Kalen got owned. I don't know if I know that in character. I assume I could see it out the window. Because Duncan could look up into the window. Or at least into the tower. And I got owned as well, so basically everyone got fucking owned. What happened to the Darkspawn?
You were injured, and then Mother rescued you. Do you not remember?
I remember being overwhelmed by the Darkspawn.
Mother managed to save you and your friend, though 'twas a close call. What is important is that you both live. The man who was to respond to your signal quit the field. The Darkspawn won your battle. Those he abandoned were massacred. Your friend, he is not taking it well.
Oh. Kinda wish I hadn't used that injury kit now. So what happened to the Grey Wardens and the King?
All dead. Your friend has veered between denial and grief since Mother told him. He is outside by the fire. Mother asked to see you when you awoke.
And what about my injuries? Are they severe?
Yes, but I expect you shall be fine. The Darkspawn did nothing Mother could not heal.
Yeah, what about Alistair? Is he alright?
He is, as you are. I suppose it would be unkind to say he is being childish.
Okay, and why does your mother want to see me?
I do not know. She rarely tells me her plans.
I've got some questions, if you don't mind.
I do not mind. Take your time.
Are we safe here? Where are the Darkspawn?
We are safe, for the moment. Mother's magic keeps the Darkspawn away. Once you leave, 'tis uncertain what will happen. The Horde has moved on, so you might avoid it.
So why did your mother save us?
I wonder at that myself. But she tells me nothing. Perhaps you were the only ones she could reach. I would have rescued your king. A king would be worth a much higher ransom than you.
Yeah, I don't work shit. He'd be worth much, much more.
What a sensible attitude. Mother is seldom sensible, however.
So how did she rescue us exactly?
She turned into a giant bird and plucked the two of you from atop the tower, one in each talon. If you do not believe that tale, then I suggest you ask Mother yourself. She may even tell you.
Okay, I think I will. Any other survivors here besides me and Alistair?
Only stragglers that are long gone. You would not want to see what is happening in that valley now.
Why? What's happening?
Are you sure you want me to describe it?
Well, yes, please.
I had a good view of the battlefield. 'Tis a grisly scene. There are bodies everywhere, and Darkspawn swarm them, feeding, I think. They also look for survivors and drag them back down beneath the ground. I cannot say why.
So survivors could be rescued? No, they're beneath the ground. Okay, why did Tern Loghain abandon the king?
I do not know who this Loghain even is. Perhaps ask Mother of it.
Okay, that's enough questions.
I agree. 'Tis time you speak with Mother, then be on your way.
I got my level up, but I also had a free rest, so I didn't really need to use my injury kit. Not optimal. I think more area effect spells would probably be good. Is there a chain lightning? Yes, there is a chain lightning. What was the chance of that? Pretty good. 33 magic. The caster's hands are up with a bolt of lightning that inflicts electricity damage on a target, then forks, sending bolts to those nearby, which fork again. Friendly fire is possible, but I think I'm going to head for chain lightning. That seems like the kind of spell I need at the moment. And when I find where the injury one is, I'll head for that as well.
You must speak to Mother, then be gone. You have an army of Darkspawn to avoid, and 'twould be best to get an early start.
Oh, well, thank you, Morrigan.
You were welcome. Though Mother did most of the work, I am no healer. I will stay and make something to eat.
Chests. That was not really worth it. Oh. Key required. Okay. That's fine then. Because I could have upped my open lock skills.
See, here is your fellow Grey Warden. You worry too much, young man.
You're alive. I thought you were dead for sure.
Well, I'm not, but it's thanks to Morrigan's mother.
Oh, this doesn't seem real. If it weren't for Morrigan's mother, we'd be dead on top of that tower.
Do not talk about me as if I am not present, lad.
I didn't mean... But what do we call you? You've never told us your name?
Names are pretty, but useless. The chastened folk call me Flemeth. I suppose it will do.
The Flemeth? From the legends? Daveth was right. You're the Witch of the Wilds, aren't you?
And what does that mean? I know a bit of magic, and it has served you both well, has it not?
Yeah, she's actually right. I think that's a bit disrespectful, considering we owe her 2 lives now. Why did you save us?
Well, we cannot have all the Grey Wardens dying at once, can we? Someone has to deal with these Darkspawn. It has always been the Grey Warden's duty to unite the lands against the Blight. Or did that change when I wasn't looking?
No, it didn't change, but most of them were slaughtered.
If you think small numbers make you helpless, you are already defeated.
But we were fighting the Darkspawn. The king had nearly defeated them. Why would Loghain do this?
Now that is a good question. Men's hearts hold shadows darker than any tainted creature. Perhaps he believes the Blight is an army he can outmaneuver. Perhaps he does not see that the evil behind it is the true threat.
The Archdemon.
Yeah, we've heard about the Archdemon. What is the Archdemon exactly?
It is said that long ago, the Maker sent the old gods of the ancient Tevinter Imperium to slumber in prisons deep beneath the surface. An Archdemon is an old god awakened and tainted by Darkspawn. Believe that or not, history says it's a fearsome and immortal thing, and only fools ignore history.
Immortal? How can I fight something that's immortal? I mean, this is obviously some local politics thing. I can't imagine Flemeth cares or knows all that. Mind you, she might know a lot. She probably doesn't care, but she probably knows. Yeah, I think our first option is probably to contact the rest of the Grey Wardens abroad.
Kaelin already summoned them. They'll come if they can, but I expect Loghain has already taken steps to stop them. We must assume they won't arrive in time.
What dick. Are you going to help us fight the Blight, Flemeth?
Me? I am just an old woman who lives in the wilds. I know nothing of Blights and Darkspawn.
Well, whatever Loghain's insanity, he obviously thinks the Darkspawn are a minor threat. We must warn everyone this isn't the case.
And who will believe you? Unless you think to convince this Loghain of his mistake.
He just betrayed his own king. If Al Eamon knew what he did at Ostagar, he would be the first to call for his execution.
Oh, Al Eamon. Well, that's the first name we've had to go and see first. Is Al Eamon someone important?
I suppose. Al Eamon wasn't at Ostagar. He still has all his men. And he was Kaelin's uncle. I know him. He's a good man, respected in the Landsmeet. Of course, we could go to Redcliffe and appeal to him for help.
I mean, that's pretty much the best plan we've got. Yeah, of course, Loghain also has a reputation as an honourable man.
The Owl would never do what Tairn Loghain did. I know him too well. I still don't know if Al Eamon's help would be enough. He can't defeat the Darkspawn horde by himself.
I wonder if Flemeth made copies of the treaties. Yeah. If she has, then there are other allies we could call upon.
Of course! The treaties! Grey Wardens can demand aid from dwarves, elves, mages, and other places. They're obligated to help us during a blight.
I may be old, but dwarves, elves, mages, this Arl Eamon, and who knows what else. This sounds like an army to me.
So can we do this? Go to Redcliffe and these other places and build an army?
I mean, am I now immune from the Blight? The other thing is I have seen that the Archdemon does actually exist. I did sign up to fight the Darkspawn. That was the deal we made. I'd fight the Blight and he'd stop me dying from the Darkspawn taint. I mean, if I betray that, I'm no better than Loghain, am I? I mean, why the fuck not? That's what Grey Wardens do.
So you are set then, ready to be Grey Wardens.
Don't suppose you could offer any more help?
Now that you mention it, I do have one more thing to offer.
The stew is bubbling, Mother dear. Shall we have 2 guests for the eve, or none?
The Grey Wardens are leaving shortly, girl. And you will be joining them.
Such a shame. What?
You heard me, girl. The last time I looked, you had ears.
Haha, nice. I mean, I haven't really encountered many of the mages because all the others were taken off to the Circle. Now I ran away and joined the Dalish, and that's where I grew up. But there weren't really any of the mages, were there? Yeah, I think this is an excellent idea.
Have I no say in this?
You have been itching to get out of the wilds for years. Here is your chance. As for you, Wardens, consider this repayment for your lives.
Right, this is good. Yeah, very well. We'll be pleased to take her with us.
Not to look a gift horse in the mouth, but won't this add to our problems? Out of the wilds, she's an apostate.
If you do not wish help from us illegal mages, young man, perhaps I should have left you on that tower.
Point taken.
Mother, this is not how I wanted this. I'm not even ready.
You must be ready. Alone, these 2 must unite for Eldon against the Darkspawn. They need you, Morrigan. Without you, they will surely fail, and all will perish under the Blight. Even I.
I understand.
And you, Wardens, do you understand? I give you that which I value above all in this world. I do this because you must succeed.
Yeah, I understand. I get the gravitas of this.
Allow me to get my things, if you please. I am at your disposal, Grey Wardens. I suggest a village north of the wilds as our first destination. 'Tis not far, and you will find much you need there. Or, if you prefer, I shall simply be your silent guide. The choice is yours.
No. No, I'm not going to just ignore you. I prefer you speak your mind.
Haha, you will regret saying that.
Dear, sweet mother, you are so kind to cast me out like this. How fondly I shall remember this moment.
Well, I always said, if you want something done, do it yourself. Or hear about it for a decade or 2 afterwards.
Do you really want to take her along because her mother says so?
Well, at least your mother and father didn't pack up all your stuff into boxes and then put it in the back of your car when you come home one weekend. Get the fuck over yourself, Alistair. No, I'm going to be nice. We need all the help we can get.
I guess you're right. The Grey Wardens have always taken allies where they could find them.
I am so pleased to have your approval.
Do I have any more questions?
I may have answers. Ask.
Are you Flemeth's biological daughter?
'Twas she who raised me, and thus I consider her my mother, born from her womb or not. 'Tis what you meant, yes?
She's just going to stay here alone?
Mother was alone long before I came, and will be so long after I am dead. Such is her choice, though I suspect she would claim the choice was made for her.
Tell me about the village to the north.
'Tis a small place of little consequence called Lothering. No more than a stop along your Imperial Highway where travellers purchase goods from local farms and smiths. I would go more often were it not for the town's chantry. It makes the village particularly intolerant and unpleasant for a stranger such as me.
A chantry? And they never in all this time thought that maybe you were a witch?
Of course they have. They even called out their Templars once. They found nothing.
Good, fuck the chantry. Right, so you have been outside the wilds. Have you never been outside the wilds? No. Is there any reason to go to Lothering then?
I mention it for its tavern, where travellers gather with news from other places. 'Tis small enough that our appearance might go unnoticed. Beyond that, 'tis close, and I know the way.
Have you never been outside the wilds?
From time to time. I have been to the village I mentioned, watched its people, and pondered what curious beings they are. On occasion, I purchased goods from the village merchants. There I spoke with men a little. There they stared and knew me as an outsider. Mother wishes for me to expand the horizon of my experience beyond the wilds. Even she was not born here.
That implies she was born of woman. Well, yeah, rather than created as a god. She wasn't necessarily born a woman, she could have been born in anything. Is that what you want?
What I want is to see mountains. I wish to witness the ocean and step into its waters. I want to experience a city rather than see it in my mind. So, yes, this is what I want. Actually, leaving is harder than I thought, however. Perhaps Mother is right. It must simply be done quickly.
How are we going to get past the Darkspawn on the way?
The real question is how we are going to get your friend past the Darkspawn, is it not?
That's true. We can sense the Darkspawn. Conversely, they can sense us.
Oh. Why wasn't I told this? That was not reassuring.
We should be able to sneak past smaller groups, but larger ones, or particularly intelligent Darkspawn, will always detect us.
Mother has given me something else for them to smell instead as we pass by. 'Tis important we head out of the wilds, however, not farther in.
What, so the Darkspawn are camped further in the forest?
They come from underground, like an eruption. They broke through deep within the forest, and that is where they will be most concentrated.
What skills do you have?
I know a few spells, though I am nowhere near as powerful as Mother. I have also studied history and your Grey Warden treaties.
Can you cook?
I can cook, yes.
Alistair. Oh dear. Yeah, you don't have to cook.
You missed your chance. Now it's charred rabbit from here on out.
Farewell, Mother. Do not forget the stew on the fire. I would hate to return to a burned-down hut.
Bah! 'Tis far more likely you will return to see this entire area, along with my hut, swallowed up by the blight.
All I meant was...
Yes, I know. Do try to have fun, dear.
Don't know her surname. No, it might be in the Codex. Oh, this is all DLC stuff, I reckon. Well, Flemeth is pretty tough, it would appear.
As you say.
Oh. I can't get to the
The
chest.
time has come to leave the wilds. Do you not agree?
Can I get in that chest?
Have you not left yet? I hope you are not hanging about for some stew.
You could come with us, you know.
Huh, I prefer to remain here. Considering what the world has done to me, I have already done more than it deserves.
Yeah, that's true. But specifically, what has the world done to you?
That is between the world and me. Your business is elsewhere.
I'm guessing these are the same questions.
Questions. One would think a Grey Warden would be more interested in action.
Can I ask about the magic you used to save us?
Looking for new spells. Secrets you think old Flemeth has cooked up over the years. Well, they're of no use to you without years of practicing my ways. I am not like your circle with its books, you see. Not that I would mind a replacement daughter to order around.
Believe me, you do not want that.
Sounds like blood magic to me. How long have you lived in the wilds?
Since before I was wrinkled and old. You may think it strange, but I was once young and beautiful, just as Morrigan is now. Yes, men desired Flemeth then, and some even killed for her.
You don't seem super happy about that.
I am not, nor was I then. It dictated all that followed. But enough. You have your task to complete.
And sex does dominate everything, doesn't it? Beyond survival, that is all that all living things exist to do. What are you going to do once we're gone?
Have a moment's peace for once.
I hear the peace of the grave is eternal.
This is the thanks I get for feeding you and putting up with you for this long. Bah! May your child one day treat you the same.
Feed me, she says. Without me, I swear she shall be caked in dirt and eating tree bark inside of a month.
Do you have any advice for us, Flemeth?
About the Darkspawn?
Well, about anything, really.
Then hear this. I laugh at a world full of stupid humans who ignore the Blight's evil and abandon their vigilance to chase mortal goals. Remember, it is up to you to destroy the Blight. Pray not for someone else to destroy it. It will always nip at your heels. Then we are done. Now, if you will excuse me, I have some dinner to eat.
I wonder how long it's going to take us to get to the town. Not very long by the looks of it.
And I expect each of you to supply these men. We must rebuild what was lost at Ostagar, and quickly. There are those who would take advantage of our weakened state if we let them. We must defeat this Darkspawn incursion, but we must do so sensibly and without hesitation.
Your lordship, if I might speak. You have declared yourself Queen Honora's regent, and claim we must unite under your banner for our own good. But what of the army lost at Ostagar? Your withdrawal was most fortuitous.
Everything I have done has been to secure Ferelden's independence. I have not shirked my duty to the throne, and neither will any of you!
The Banorn will not bow to you simply because you demand it.
Understand this. I will brook no threat to this nation from you or anyone.
Bantegan, please!
Your Majesty, your father risks civil war. If Eamon were here...
Bantegan, my father is doing what is best.
Did he also do what was best for your husband, Your Majesty?
Duncan was killed in battle against overwhelming numbers of Darkspawn at Ostagar, alongside King Kaelin. Flemeth. You are required to do nothing, least of all believe. Ages ago, legend says Ban Conobar took to wife a beautiful young woman who harboured a secret talent for magic, Flemeth of High Ever. And for a time they lived happily, until the arrival of a young poet, Osen, who captured the lady's heart with his verse. They turned to the chastened tribes for help, and hid from Conobar's wrath in the wilds, until word came to them that Conobar lay dying. His last wish was to see Flemeth's face one last time. The lovers returned, but it was a trap. Conobar killed Osen and imprisoned Flemeth in the highest tower of the castle. In grief and rage, Flemeth worked a spell to summon a spirit into this world to wreak vengeance upon her husband. Vengeance she received, but not as she planned. The spirit took possession of Flemeth, turning her into an abomination. A twisted, maddened creature, she slaughtered Conobar and all his men, and fled back into the wilds. For 100 years Flemeth plotted, stealing men from the Chastened to sire monstrous daughters, horrific things that could kill a man with fear. These Korkari witches led an army of Chastened from the wilds to strike at Alamari tribes. They were defeated by the hero Cormac, and all the witches burned, so they say. But even now the Wilders whisper that Flemeth lives on in the marsh, and she and her daughters steal those men who come too near. Morrigan's mother saved the last Grey Wardens from death at the top of the Tower of Ishel, but just who, or what, Flemeth truly is a mystery. In darkness eternal they searched, for those who had goaded them on, until at last they found their prize, their god, their betrayer. The sleeping dragon Dumat, their taint twisted even the false god, and the Whisperer awoke at last in pain and horror, and led them to wreak havoc upon the nations of all the world, the first blight, Drenades, 8-7. The false dragon gods of the Tevinter Imperium lie buried deep within the earth, where they have been imprisoned since the Maker cast them down. No one knows what it is that drives the Darkspawn in their relentless search for the sleeping old gods. Perhaps it is instinct, as moths will fly into torch flames. Perhaps there is some remnant of desire for vengeance upon the ones who goaded the Magisters to assault heaven. Whatever the reason, when Darkspawn find one of these ancient dragons, it is immediately afflicted by the taint. It awakens twisted and corrupted, and leaves the Darkspawn in a full-scale invasion of the land, a blight.